This is KHQA Sports.
And tip top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final as Week 8 has gone live and into the books, and it was a surprisingly good one. On the surface, the slate didn't look nearly as exciting as next week. We got caught looking a little bit ahead, but you know what? This turned out to be a dandy. Lots of great games, lots of playoff implications, and some upsets of sorts to talk to you about tonight. We're going to start it off, though, with our game of the week. Quincy High School trying to put the finishing touches on its first conference title since 1974 in the Western Big Six. They could clinch a share tonight with a win over Moline. We'll start you off with Rick Little's team doing some nice work with the ground game. What more do you expect? The Blue Devils have been ground and pound decidedly this year, and that starts with this guy, the big fella, Bryce Umazig. Oh, to the boundary. He does not quite get in, unfortunately for him. The crowd disappointed he doesn't get the touchdown. However, just a bit later right here, it's Mr. Umazig again getting to do the work all on his own, finishing what he started to extend Quincy High's lead out to 14-0. Disaster for Moline would befall them right around the corner. They're going to give up the football on a fumble, and Quincy High's going to get it back, and then George Kirkard's going to take the ball all the way down to the 9 after this fumble recovery right here as the Blue Devils get the football back. Going to go to work, Mr. Kirkard the fourth. And let's thank George Kirkard the fourth's mother for bringing his new cleats. He accidentally grabbed the old ones tonight before he got there, so George made faster by the good shoes. Nice run there. That would set up Bryce Umazig yet again, this time taking it in for 6 more, makes it 21-0 as Bryce comes right into your living room there. The Blue Devils would give up a long drive as Moline responds, gets to back within a touchdown. The defense, though, going to stand stout for much of the rest of the night. Seth Holschlag, we love the fact this kid can just flat go and get people. Loses the helmet there, gets a little more face time. Seth Holschlag certainly deserves it. And speaking of Seth Holschlag, later with the Blue Devils up, they're going to extend even further. Beautiful touchdown strike right there from George Kirkard to Seth Holschlag. The Blue Devils leading now after 3 quarters. This game has not yet gone final. Your score, 35-13. So Quincy High looks well positioned to make that run at the Western Big Six. Also tonight, Quincy Notre Dame at home for homecoming and welcoming in the Macomb Bombers in this one. How about this? We start with Mr. Kinsel doing some work right here, taking it down. Oh, big run for him all the way to the 35-yard line. Quincy Notre Dame already leading at that point 7-0 thanks to a 42-yard Dalen Anders touchdown. More to come from the aforementioned Dalen Anders. Going to take this right here in from the 21-yard line and make it 14-0 in favor of the Raiders. Oh, the Raiders are not done yet. They were kind of having a field day at the Bombers' expense in this one. Logan Ahrens, it's his turn to make the highlight reel and do it very, very well. Coming right at you, right through the middle right there of the Macomb defense. And that sets up 2 plays later. Max Venverlo hooking up with the aforementioned Logan Ahrens, who gets to finish what he starts, making it 21-0 Q&D. The Raiders really never look back in this ball game. Ahrens into the house, into the paint, and in for the score. Quincy Notre Dame gets it done tonight. 42-14 was your final. Elsewhere in the West Central Conference, unfortunate news for West Hancock's bid to try to make the playoffs. They suffer a loss at home tonight that they could not afford to suffer. 34-14 to the Monroe's Titans. Illini West will finish off week number 8, I should say, coming up tomorrow as they make the long road trip to undefeated Moment. Should be a dandy ball game tomorrow up there. How about Camp Point Central and Triopia going at it? Triopia trying to do something and put the number 2 rated team in the state in uncomfortable positions. Second Triopia drive, play action, that's different. Ike Weary's up top to Tristan Wise, 48-yard pickup, and that would set up the big fella, Dean Arrant, rumbling and running over linebackers right here. That kid is just flat out a load. 3 plays later, it's Matt Parker from 1 yard out, and Triopia has the lead 6-0. We're talking about trying to make Central uncomfortable. That certainly helped. Got a little bit better for the Trojans in just a bit on the 2-point conversion. Nice misdirection play right here by Ike Weary's the quarterback on the keeper. Gets in and makes it an 8-0 lead. Central, though, undeterred, showed that poise tonight. How about this? Dylan Bonk. His biggest run of a pretty good night. Didn't have a lot of carries, but he got 32 yards here and a touchdown to cut into that lead. Made it 8-6 at that point. Then the Central defense, boy, they really made a statement after that initial Triopia scoring drive. Here comes that fella, the future All-Stater Andrew Shake with the tackle for loss. That was destructive. Later, more from the Central defense on the boundary. El Hair Saldana right there with the beautiful stop, and that sets up a 4th and 2 situation for Triopia. They're going to go for it, try to take advantage of the momentum. Trey Flessner having none of it. He makes the big-time stop right there, gets his team back onto the field, and they go back to work on offense. This time it's El Hair taking the little handoff right there, jumping over the top from 4 yards out to give the Central Panthers their first lead of the game at that point at 13-8. More to come from the defense right here. Jeffrey Blacketer with a big-time stop. Again, a 3-and-out for Triopia, and at the end of the first half, Central goes back to work. It was the Bobby Kelt show tonight. 204 yards rushing on 35 carries, 2 touchdowns, including this 1-yarder. Central leaves no doubt about it tonight. They beat Triopia and tune up for that big showdown with Carrollton next week. 38-6 was your final on that night. Also on the docket, last score we had, Brown County leading Routt 22-14. Fisher, the Bunnies, beat Unity Payson tonight in Mendon. 21-0 was your final there. The Old Oaken Bucket will go to Calhoun, which wins at home over Pleasant Hill Western. 34-32 is your final in that ball game. And a tough playoff-destroying Hopes loss for West Central tonight. They had the lead at the half, 8-6 on North Greene, but end up losing on the road. 12-8 was your final. One of the biggest games of the night tonight took place up in Table Grove. Rushville Industry against South Fulton, a battle of 5-1 teams on the season. Rushville Industry's defense was ridiculous tonight. Starts right here with Mark Collins setting the tone with the quarterback sack, and then it's one of our favorites, the sophomore linebacker Jacob Kunkel, coming and destroying the middle screen. That kid can just flat out light people up. Christian Downs, also a big night. You will see a sensational 7-play for him coming up in a second. This is pretty darn good as well with a knockaway, and then more from that outstanding Rushville Industry linebacker core. Eli Irwin, Jacob Kunkel again after some initial pressure from Mark Collins gets it done. That would set up Rylan Hynek, going to go to work right here and going to rush right into your Barca-lounger on this one. Coming to the boundary, hitting the corner, and in for the score to give Rushville Industry the lead early at 6-0. More from the defense. I mentioned Christian Downs. Immediately following this, South Fulton's next possession, Downs is going to do something you rarely see. Juggling one-handed interception. If this isn't number 1 on Sensational 7, Will Wilson will lose his job next week. Wow, what a great snare by that young fella. That would set up the passing game yet again, and little Gronk, Manning Plater, wide open down the sidelines, going to get the big snare and set up another Rylan Hynek touchdown. Believe, kids, Rushville Industry is indeed for real. They blow out South Fulton tonight on the road, no less. 33-0 was your final in that ball game. Elsewhere in the docket, no score yet from Bushnell, West Prairie, and Knoxville. We can tell you that Beardstown rallied back to make it a good game with Havana. 21-19 was your final there. The last score I had on Plains Pittsfield was 7-0 Plains, so we needed a final on that one, and Rochester was beating Jacksonville 48-24 at last check. Up now, here's our man, Will Wilson.
Well, Centralia looking to end a 4-game skid tonight in Monroe City. Not the best of places to travel when looking to do that. We'll head out to the Panthers Palace right now in Monroe City. The new digs, one of the best around. David Kirby's crew ready to roll in this one. How about some defense early in this ball game? J.D. Brown blows through the Centralia line untouched and takes down Logan Armentrout for a big loss right there. Panthers get the ball back and don't waste much time moving it down the field. Big third down pickup here from Brandon Delvin to Jonathan Shuck. Beautiful fingertip grab from Shuck as Monroe City gets to midfield. Panthers go to the air again. This time Delvin hooks up with Chase Penuel across the middle. Penuel going to go the distance after that, takes it down the far sidelines, and he is in to pay dirt right there. Monroe City goes up 22-7 right before the half. Centralia answers in the dying seconds of the second quarter, though. Armentrout rolls to his right. This kid can sling it. He finds Zach Townsend all the way down to the 4 right there. Camera goes out of focus, but nonetheless, they are in business from there. Armentrout, he's going to go in on the QB keeper, I should say. Oh, it's a little tongue twister right there. He goes in from 4 yards out. 22-14. Second half now, we would head more of the air attack from Monroe City. Delvin this time to Taryn Ritter right here. Chris Dewar's boy. Beautiful grab down the sidelines right there. He gets that one. Monroe City in Centralia territory right there. A few plays later, it's Tarek Gardner on the pitch. Into the crib he goes. He was kind of having a little hamstring injuries as he got out of halftime, but he kind of got those figured out as he's in. Monroe City up 28-14, and then we're going to finish it off with a Logan Armentrout 72-yard touchdown run right here. Centralia not going to have enough, though, as Monroe City goes the distance, and they win tonight 42-21. Let's take you to a couple Clarence Cannon scores if we can right now. Palmyra They lose to Brookfield, as many do. Brookfield having a whale of a season. They win 34-6 tonight. Also, Milan and Highland do not have a score for you right now. We will have that later, KHQA.com. And Macon gets it done over Louisiana tonight, 44-20. How about some South Shelby and Clark County here? Trace Windsor, he's going to take the first offensive play for South Shelby. How about this? 82-yard down the left sideline. That's going to make it 7-0. Man, he does it all. What a season Mr. Trace Windsor is having for South Shelby. Trace Windsor, he's going to have the ball again. He's going to take this one into the house right here, 14-0. Many more to come from Trace Windsor. You're probably going to see him on Sensational 7. South Shelby just having a whale of a game. They get it done tonight. 43-6 over Clark County. Over to Chris.
All right, scores. Hannibal all over Marshall tonight. Another big night from Shamar. Griffith. Marceline shuts out Paris 12-0. Bowling Green destroys Montgomery County 66-6. South Callaway doing likewise to Mark Twain. Van Far loses a heartbreaker at Clopton-Ellsbury 14-12. No Scotland County, Putnam County. We can tell you that Knox was a big-time winner behind Brody Mowbray tonight, 34-0 over Schuyler County. Also on the docket, some Iowa scores to pass along to you. No Central Lee final yet. I can tell you that Washington beat up on Keokuk 67-27, and no Fort Madison final yet as well. Will, softball.
That's right, Missouri Districts, Bowling Green and Trinity. Madison Ingram on the mound, pitched almost flawlessly tonight. She gets the strikeout right there. How about some more Miss Ingram? She's going to get the strikeout right here to get out of the inning. She was fantastic out there tonight. Bowling Green gets going on offense. Shelby Grummel doubles out to deep center right here. Madeline Kincaid, she's going to come on into the plate to score. That makes it 1-0 in favor of Bowling Green. More from BG after that. Destiny Lindsay, she's going to double right here to left as she connects with that one way out there. Mallory Feldworth, she's going to come on in to score from second. That makes it 2-0. Bowling Green, they're going to add another one. They're going to go on to win it 3-0 over Trinity.
On the scoreboard quickly, we will work through some other softball. Louisiana will be the opponent for Bowling Green tomorrow, 3-0 your final. Also on the docket, let's give you some scores. Macon County ends North Shelby's fine run, 6-5. Central Lee football, a winner 9-7 over Mid Prairie. The Quincy University women with a scoreless tie tonight against Indy. The QU men win 1-0, and I'm all out of time. We'll have overtime tomorrow night for you right here at 10:30.